So in this month's Art in Practice, we're going to look at tonal value, and I thought it would be really good to show you my simplest sketchbook thing that you can take out, you can put in your handbag or whatever. All you need is a piece of paper. You need it's got to be something that will run, so a non-permanent pen, and I like the V5 Hi-TECPOINT. This is a 0.5, and I also use just a water brush. So this brush, I'll just show you, is literally just filled with water, and if you can get different sort of types of brushes, but I just grabbed the first one that I came to hand. Really, it's only really to create the shading, and you'll see that. And then the other thing that you need is just some kitchen roll, just to, like, you know, it doesn't even have to be a lot of kitchen roll. It can be just stuff that you've just wrapped up. So you don't need loads of stuff, and you could actually do this in a small sketchbook. I've got a sketchbook here just to show you that is just it could fit into your handbag. So if you look, that could be your sketch kit. And this sketchbook here I wanted to show you because this has got this is in black and white, and that's why I wanted to show you, really. So what I've done with this sketchbook, sometimes it's really hard to know what to do on a page, and you can start a sketchbook. This is a concertina sketchbook, so it opens out, and what you can do is you can start a page simply by blobs. So this is blobs of ink that I've just done randomly, and then from those blobs of ink I've gone outside into the garden, and I've just gone, okay, what is it that I can see that fits, what dark is there that fits with this blobs of ink? And I've just sort of, it makes you think a little bit outside the box, really. And then on this occasion I've actually used a permanent pen as well as a non-permanent pen. So this is my permanent pen that I tend to use, these Staedtler ones. You can get them in all sorts of thinness and thicknesses, and so you know, if you wanted to, you could go out with 3 pens, which is what I quite often do, to be honest, because sometimes you might not want the pen to run. And if you look here, this is the effect that I wanted to show you today, which is where you can actually run this pen. So I will just show you. I love these books because you can have them as just a simple page, or opened up like this. And in the workshop we are going to go into a little bit of charcoal, but you could consider things like charcoal and stuff as an addition, and the charcoal could even do that really, really big splodge. So have a think about what's going to suit you, but a really, really good place to start is literally with these two, just a water brush and a non-permanent pen. So I'm looking outside. I'm actually sat in my conservatory, but I'm looking outside, and I'm going to look for some darks and lights, and I really just want to show you the technique. So I've already gone into the garden, shown you a little bit about that in the previous video. So I'm just going to just have a look at some shapes and leaves. The sun's gone in, ironically, so I'll just look. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do this one. Okay, so the shape of something that I'm wanting to portray. It's got lots of little leaves on it. And I'm going to start off, because sometimes you just want to get the essence of something. And what I was going to do, see, that's interesting because I just put a little bit of water there by mistake in advance. What can happen with these pens is they can react quite, they can sort of clog up if you do spend a lot of time putting them in water. It's better to actually use the pens and then do the shading afterwards. But if you're wanting to get a little bit of shading extra, let me just show you the shading first. So if I wanted to create some shade in between these, I can literally use this water brush and do this. So we're already creating some darks and lights. And then if I want to, I can actually, on the edge of your paper, you can just put just a little patch, use it as a palette, and you can literally pick up the paint and do it like this. So we can start to do that. And then I want to get some of these and I'm just sketching. I'm not worrying too much if it's anatomically absolutely accurate. You could spend a while doing this, but I do want to just show you technique more than anything. And there we go. Down here I want to show a bit of shading because it's nearer to the ground, near to the... So let's just try and start to use this pen and you'll see what happens with the darks. And I wanted to get some darks in between the leaves as well. It very quickly starts to turn into something different. And just what I'm also thinking about is the light coming from this sort of direction. So I'm going to just literally tap on the one side. So you can see how you have to be a little bit careful with this, light, almost light with the brush, just to show. What I mean by that is, if it was, let me just get this pen here, if it was your permanent pen and you were doing, so you might want to do a combination of permanent and non-permanent. We've got a little ball of the alliums. I've got half a foxgloves, and here we go with some allium. And I'm just going to, it's just like a little ball really. And another one, sort of all together. And then behind that we've got another foxglove. Sometimes what you want to do is sort of look at the, it's almost like the gesture of it, which means the, I'm looking at just the general shape. Whether the leaves come out in the same place. And then there's a little bit of detail here. There's a little bit more on these. They're a little bit younger. Let me just get the detail in. So again, just doing from underneath. You can see how very, very quickly you can form something that starts to look, it's quite nice. Now what's happened here, I just want to show you because it's quite interesting as well, is if you move fairly quickly, you can actually get this effect from even a permanent marker, but it is much more effective because the ink hasn't dried, but it's much more effective when it's from the non-permanent. So don't overthink it. I think that's probably enough. Don't overthink it. I've shown you just how it works. Try it for yourself. Just have a go at doing these different, and just have a little sit in the garden and a little play. I'm not showing every little leaf, I'm just every little leaf. I'm just giving an impression of what's there and the sort of general shapes. Nice. It's a really nice way to work. It also works really well with buildings. Just generally with sketching outside, you can put something together quite quickly, and so you can get the feel of it, yeah, which is really. So I'm starting to like draw something else now, and I mean I'm scooting around the garden slightly, but I don't even know what these plants are. They're interesting. And you can see, right, so me doing this on its own isn't as effective as when you start to put the water on it. So if you have a look, and we start to do this, and we start to just And I really am just doing a little bit of touching it very, very gently. Yeah. It's very enjoyable. So I hope you've enjoyed this art in practice. I just thought really it's more about you going out and trying it for yourself. So just to reiterate, all you need is a sketchbook or just some plain paper, a water brush. So all you do is just add the water in. They're not expensive and last forever. And if you would like to play between the two, I'm using Staedtler Pigment Liner 0.05, and that is the permanent, and this is the non-permanent, which is a V5 Hi-TECPOINT, and that's 0.5. So if you fancy, you can just use whatever. You might find that you've got like a pen that you could just try this out anyway, and you can always try it out with just water and a normal paintbrush. So try the technique out. If you enjoy it, let me know, and I would love to hear from you. Okay, so bye for now.